Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Thank you so much for coming back if you've been here before. So today we are going to continue our messages and we are going to be working with Aphrodite. So we've been doing this, if you're new to the channel, we've been kind of doing a series of messages from, and we're picking different deities. Today we connect to our beautiful Aphrodite, goddess of love, beauty, pleasure, fertility, youth, all the good things. And we are going to have three options. So option number one is going to be this beautiful, trying to see if I can get it to focus, but it's two dolphins with that beautiful heart there. Option number two is going to be the red rose, and option number three is going to be this very beautiful swan. And the reason for the dolphin and the swan is because they are associated with our beautiful Aphrodite. So we're going to be receiving messages, self-love messages from the goddess Aphrodite. What do you need to know right now? What does she want to bring to your attention? Take a few minutes, pause the video if you need to, and ask yourself, angels, guides, which pile, higher self, which pile has a message for you. And let's talk about Aphrodite really quickly, and then we're going to jump into the reading. Alrighty, so let's talk about Aphrodite really quickly. So she is the goddess of love, beauty, pleasure, fertility, youth. It's even said that she is associated to peace. And depending on which story about her creation you believe in, you may have heard two of them or you may have heard one, but there's kind of two stories about how she came to be. One of them is that she was born from the foams in the water of Paphos on the island of Cyprus. The other version is that she was the daughter of Zeus and a titaness by the name Dionia. And again, it kind of depends on which story you've heard you want to believe in, but both of them are equally valid. Her day is Friday, so if you want to work with Aphrodite, Friday would be a good day to do so. She is closely associated with the Roman goddess Venus. So if you want to connect with Aphrodite, another way to do so is to look at your natal chart and where your Venus is at and kind of take a look at the house, the sign, right? Any information that may have for you. You know, another way to work with Aphrodite is by connecting to her symbols. And she is connected to the dolphins, which is why I chose this beautiful crystal ball there. She's connected to the roses, scallop shells, myrtle, dove, sparrow, mirror, and the swan, amongst other things. If you want to work with Aphrodite, I also suggest working with rose quartz or any sort of love stone. Clear quartz, rose quartz. There are a few others. Pink amethyst is coming in for some reason. Amethyst. There are a few others I can't think of off the top of my head, but you can definitely look up the perfect crystal stones to work with Aphrodite. And again, doing so on a Friday, if you want to connect with her, the energy is stronger, and connecting with her through some form of love ritual, self-love, very important there. And anything that makes you feel beautiful. Any color, anything that makes you feel beautiful. So I'm not going to go too much into who Aphrodite is, but I do highly suggest that you look into her if you're not familiar with her. But let's jump into the reading. Hi, pile number one. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to this beautiful crystal. There they are. There are the dolphins. It's very hard because of the ring light and the lighting. But if you were drawn to this beautiful sphere, this is your reading. We're going to move it. It is quite heavy, so we're going to move it right off to the side there. And we are getting messages, self-love messages from Aphrodite. I may shuffle some cards on camera if I feel the need to. If not, we may not do that, but we may. We'll see what happens. So the first card is the Five of Pentacles. And as a reminder, It's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. Then we have the Eight of Cups. And then we have fertility, or this would be the Empress card in traditional tarot. And let's get started here. So for my pile number ones, when it comes to self-love, the first energy that came out was this Five of Pentacles. And to me, that screams of feeling like you don't belong. You know, at times we can feel like the black sheep in the family, or even the black sheep in society, right? Like the outsider, the outcast. We don't quite fit in. And that can be so true when you are spiritual, when you are trying to live a spiritual existence, a spiritual life, right? And for my pile number ones, it's that sense of, you know, being out in the cold. Perhaps not having that connection. Whether it's that connection with a soulmate, as in a romance connection, or that connection with people that you feel seen by. You know, friendships, family. There's that sense of being the outsider. Seeking shelter. And when I say seeking shelter, it's the sense of seeking shelter for your soul. Seeking shelter where you can be seen, understood, acknowledged for some of you. And with this Eight of Cups, right? Because we have the Eight of Cups in the middle. And we have the Five of Pentacles. And we have the Empress here. And the way that this is reading for me, and I don't always read like this. I actually usually don't read like this. But it almost feels like this is the energy, this is the past, or this is what you can leave in the past. This is the present and the future. So if you're able to clear this, if you're able to connect to this energy, clear this, you're able to step into this energy. And let's talk about the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a card of having to walk away from something. Leaving something behind when you know it is not right for you, when you know it is not meant for you. It's a very hard step to take because that Eight of Cups, it takes a long time for someone to amass their 8 cups. You know, we start at that Ace of Cups. We get to the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, and then we hit the 8. So there's a lot of time and effort that goes into getting those 8 cups. And the energy of the Eight of Cups is disappointment. And the disappointment is there for the reason that you're having to walk away from something that you poured yourself into, from something that you love, that you cared about, something that you wanted, that you invested time, hopes, dreams into. Because what comes right before the Eight of Cups is the Seven of Cups, and that's, you know, the different opportunities. You've explored those opportunities and you've picked the ones that you thought were for you. So again, the Eight of Cups is an energy of almost sadness, disappointment. But it's also a card of empowerment because in the Eight of Cups, what we see is the person is walking away. That person is choosing to walk away from these 8 cups. It's not that these 8 cups are being taken away from them. It's that they're choosing to leave them behind because they now understand that they're not the right cups for them. And in order to start something new, you need to be able to release the past. So this is almost Aphrodite coming in and saying, what do you need to leave behind? And for many of you, it's going to be this energy of, I don't feel understood. I don't feel seen. And I'm not trying to diminish that because that's a reality. If that is your reality, it's your reality. I'm not here to gaslight you and tell you that it's not. But there is a feeling here of you could probably choose to change how you view this situation, and you can choose to move away from it. And how do you move away from this Five of Pentacles? So with the Five of Pentacles, it's typically that energy of something, you know, you're being left out of something. But there's always a different door, a different window even. Like if you cannot find a door, there's a window to go through. And this is Aphrodite saying, pile number 1, can you choose yourself and step away from the people, situations, and beliefs that make you feel like you are an outsider, like you are not enough. And I am hearing this, you are enough. So the self-love messages that my pile number ones need to hear is that you are enough. And what Aphrodite wants you to work with is with your self-care, self-love. How can you love yourself more? How can you care for yourself more? How can you nurture yourself more? The answer is going to vary from person to person. So for some of you, it's, making sure that you're setting boundaries in place with your energy. And sometimes those boundaries include, perhaps saying no to someone that is not a good match for you, whether romantically or a friendship. Sometimes even a family member, we have to take a step back. That doesn't mean that we have to completely sever the connection, but it does mean that sometimes we have to take a step back and set boundaries for our own good. This is also saying, if you can release, if you can walk away from it, what is not serving you, what is not making you feel good about yourself, the people that do not appreciate you, the environments that do not nourish you, then you can create, right? Fertility, the Empress energy, creation. Then you can begin to create. And when we think about the Empress, fertility, right? We think of the womb, being in the womb. And it takes time, right? When we go back to basics and we think about a baby being in the womb, it takes time for that baby to develop. It takes time for that baby to be born. So then you can truly create the life that you want, and you can truly come from a place where you're able to love yourself enough that you're able to let your light shine through, and you can attract the right people. And again, it doesn't have to be just romance. It could be, soul family. But that's what's coming in. This is about, also having acceptance that you feel this way. There's no shame in feeling this way, but understanding that just like you, there are other people. We're all unique, right? Everybody's an individual. Not two people are going to be alike, but there are people that are going to understand you. So can you create the space to connect to those people? Let's take a look at what we have. I chose these 3 cards. These are, I believe they're goddess cards, but I chose them more for the message than the actual goddess on there because they're very empowering. So we have my Bago, I believe, the warrior saint. I am a warrior of love. My devotion attracts resources and support. What was I just saying? Attracting, right? Attraction, bringing in, making space, understanding that you can attract the right people, the right support. The people that are going to see you and understand you and accept you for who you are. For some of you in my pile number ones, you are craving acceptance and you haven't quite gotten that, but you can. And you're definitely a warrior. You are not someone who gives up easily. Don't settle for this 5 of Pentacles energy. Don't tell yourself that you're different or unwanted or you're not enough. Whatever the case is, choose yourself. Choose yourself in an act of unconditional love. And through that, you're going to be able to create. Then we have Emilia, I believe, with the goddess of all that flows. I am an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within me. Pile number 1. There's a lot of creativity here. There's a lot of creative energy. For some of you, this energy is blocked, and the reason that it's blocked is because of this 5 of Pentacles. Because there's almost a fear of allowing it to flow freely. There's almost a fear of being truly seen for who you are, or being seen as an outsider. Because I feel like for many, you may feel like an outsider, but I also feel like you may try to fit in. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. but it can be detrimental if it's preventing you from being who you truly are and from experiencing the things that you want to experience. For some of you, again, a lot of creativity, the ability to create, the ability to give birth to new ideas, to do things in a different way. But you need to allow it to flow. And the Five of Pentacles is almost a poverty mindset, right? It can actually represent poverty mindset. So for a few of you, this could be about your creativity and feeling like perhaps you're not able to create. Perhaps you're blocked and it's messing with your finances. And because of that, it's messing with your self-esteem. Whatever the case is, there's some sort of lack mentality, whether it's about abundance, and I think that that's going to be for a very select few people. I think this is more of a lack in self-confidence, a lack in self-love for some of you. And I say that respectfully. Because I think there's almost this sense of trying to give in, trying to change certain things, or feeling like, I wish I could change this about myself. I wish I could fit in. You're not meant to. Saraswati with the goddess of self-knowledge, the essence of who I am flows effortlessly into everything I create. More creation. More creation. For my pile number ones, part of self-love for you is making sure that you're creating, that you're allowing your creative juices to flow, that you're allowing your creativity to have an outlet of some sort. Saraswati is also a goddess of mastery, the mastery of the self, the mastery of a skill. So this is saying, how can you allow, and look at this, flow, cups with flow. This is about allowing things to flow, allowing things to be. And I just realized this, out of all the options, you chose the dolphins. For some of you, it's time to get in touch with those emotions. It's time to feel the disappointment, but at the same time decide that you're going to move forward from it. Feel it, but not allow it to take over. And getting to know who you truly are and embracing who you truly are. Let's go with these two. Inner integration. There is a place, equilibrium, and fulfillment. There is peace, equilibrium, and fulfillment in integrating the inner wild with the taming and tempering effect life has on us. Forgiveness. Hurt blocks our light. There's something definitely being blocked here. For some of you, it is a hurt. It is pain. And this is saying, can you forgive yourself for what you think you've done? It could be about forgiving others. And remember, sometimes with forgiving others, it's not about saying what you did was okay. It's about saying, I released this enough. I released the hold this has on my life enough to move forward. I don't even need to connect with you ever again. I just released this from having its hold on me. With inner integration, bringing in all aspects of self. Right? Because it says there is peace, equilibrium, and fulfillment in integrating the inner wild with the taming and tampering effect life has on us. And life can be hard. At some point, life is going to be hard. That's part of the sad reality. At some point, life will be hard for all of us. It's ever changing. It's always teaching us something. How can you integrate all of that? Right? Integration, bring it together. Mesh it. How can you integrate that knowledge into your life and allow it to fuel you forward instead of stunt your growth? Let's see, what do we have with these two cards? Dream, sweet, sleep deep. Sleep that's deep and lasts till morn, wondrous dreams for days reborn. Pile number 1. Some of you, I will say, let's talk about the basics of it. Some of you need to rest a little bit more. Some of you need to be more kind to yourself. Allow yourself to rest, to take a break. For others of you, this is about you allowing the rebirth. Allowing all aspects of yourself to come together to create who you are becoming. Allowing transformation to happen. Remember, change is always constantly happening. At some point, these 8 cups were fulfilling to this person on this card. But, it comes a time where it's about walking away because they are no longer fulfilling. They are no longer helpful to them. So how can you allow your rebirth? How can you allow yourself to rest for some of you? And how can you allow new dreams to be born? Because that 5 of Pentacles is that sense, the 5 of Pentacles and the 8 of Cups. There's almost a sense of disappointment and loss with both of them. So how can you allow a rebirth of dreams, right? New dreams to take place? Because once you've walked away from this, there's a new beginning that's possible. And that's why we move into that 9 of Cups. And the 9 of Cups is the wish, right? It says, give me your wish because I'm going to fulfill it. So what is your wish, pile number 1? And how can you love yourself enough to move forward with your new wishes? Strength, stability in this hour, endurance, stamina, I empower. Another very beautiful energy coming out for you. A lot of blue here, so working with the throat chakra. With strength, you have stamina, you have endurance. That 5 of Pentacles right there, just, it clarifies that you have a lot of strength. Right now, you are moving forward. Make sure that you are working with your energy, that you are stabilizing your energy. If you are feeling tired, get some rest. Build up your stamina. Keep going. It's not a time to give up. My pile number 1s, you're moving into a very spiritual time in your life. I keep seeing 7s and 9s for this pile. Let's see the blessings that are coming in for you from the goddess Aphrodite. A blessing on your love. For some of you, if you're trying to bring in a soulmate, whether it's a romantic partner, right? Divine counterpart, twin flame, whatever you want to call it, that type of soulmate relationship. Or if you're trying to bring in different types of soulmates, because I feel like for some of you, you may just want the friendships, the soul family. Aphrodite is saying, I'm going to grant you this, but I just need you to help me with clearing the energy. Making the choice. And it's not easy. And it's not about just walking away and, I'm never going to think of this again. I would never suggest that. But there is a blessing on your love. For some of you, this means a romantic partner. For others of you, it means soul family. For some of you, it means both. Some of you working with Cernunos or Kernunos would be helpful. And a blessing to bring prosperity. I love it. Look at the apples. For some of you, working in ritual with the apple would be very helpful. Pomegranate as well, for some reason. But prosperity, and prosperity doesn't only mean money. This is financial, spiritual, emotional prosperity. For some of you, there's something that you can create and there's something that you're trying to create, and clearing some of this energy away is going to allow your creativity to flourish so that you can create it. Let's take a look at this last card. I will be reading from the book for this last card just because I'm not very familiar with the deck. Shekinah, I believe. Shekinah. I know someone's going to correct me. Number 6. 6 is all about family connections as well. Especially when we think of 6 in numerology. So 1 second, let me pull this up. And it says the spiritual world wants to help you resolve your worldly concerns. What did I say? Some of you are moving into a very spiritual time. It is safe for you to rely on spirit as a loving, protective, helpful, and practical presence, able to positively affect all areas of your life, including facilitating the resolution of physical problems. Do not limit your spirituality to concepts. Instead, apply your higher knowledge and principles. Grow your wisdom and live your path. Acknowledge your value as a person, as a soul. Treasure the gift of your path and let your spirituality integrate. We had integration here. And my page is Violet Integration, which is all about integrating with all facets of your life. Shekinah, I believe it is a Hebrew word that translates as the dwelling place of the divine. It is the embodiment of the light. She is in us when we are living our spiritual path, applying our wisdom and principles, so our actions, our courage, our choices awaken compassion in this world. We are the sacred change makers and willing soul bulbs to shine forth in the light. What was I saying? For my pile number ones, you could be very spiritual and you're actually moving more into your spirituality. And that could be why you may feel like the black sheep. You may feel like the outsider. You may feel like people don't quite understand you because you're bringing light and compassion in. And not everyone is going to understand your way of being. But can you love yourself enough to bring this light in and to allow your creativity, your purpose to flourish? All right, pile number one, that is all I have for you. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let me know anything else you'd like to see, including any other deities in the messages from series that I'm doing. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, that information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you are drawn to this red rose. As a reminder, it's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. We are getting some self-love messages from the goddess Aphrodite. And let's see what we have here. King of Cups. Princess of Cups. So far, a lot of Cups energy. So some of you could be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You don't have to be. Or it could just be about having to connect to your feelings at this time, to your emotions. Four of Cups. Okay. Let's talk about this energy. This is a lot of water energy for this pile. So again, you could be a water sign. You don't have to be. It could be prominent in your chart. It does not have to be. So the self-love messages for my pile number twos. For some of you, there's almost a focus here on the past. I don't even want to say a focus because I don't necessarily feel like there is a focus on the past. I do feel like my pile number twos, like you don't necessarily want to think of the past. You don't want to have a hold. You don't want the past to have a hold on you. It's not something that you're actively like, let me think about my past. Let me sit here and think about it. Or it's not even something that some of you may be aware of in the sense of you think that you may have already released it. And for some of you, you have released it mentally. You understand why certain things happened. You have come to terms with it. You rationalized it. You understand the lesson. You understand the purpose. And that's not for everyone. But for some of you, you do. But you haven't quite felt through it. And what Aphrodite is bringing in for my pile number twos is that many of my pile number twos, you operate from your analytical side. You operate from the mental sphere. Some of you could be claircognizant, where you're very good at receiving information. You're very good at, you could be readers, avid readers, you could be writers. There's a lot going on. There could be some Gemini energy, a lot of Mercury energy for this pile. What you're not as comfortable with is the emotions. It's that sense of feeling the thing. So again, a lot has happened, and something may have happened in the past that may have somewhat of a hold on you. And you may not even realize that this is still in your energy field. And it's because you haven't quite felt through it. And the only way out for this pile is going to be through. So what's standing out to me is this Princess of Cups. Because I feel like my pile number 2s, you are in the King of Cups. And I also feel like some of my pile number 2s are like, what is she about to say? Because what I feel like Aphrodite is saying is, can you go back to this energy of the Princess of Cups? And the reason for that is, for me, the King of Cups, he's very good with emotions, but he's so good that he can turn them off. He's so good that he can kind of gaze over them. And I feel like that's where my pile number 2s are at. It's that sense of you're pretty good with acknowledging emotions. For some of you, you're good at naming them. If you had to sit and you had to think, what am I feeling? You're very good at saying, you know what, I'm feeling sadness and this is why. Again, that kind of rationalizing. But the Princess of Cups is a more youthful energy when it comes to emotions. It's not as mature. It's not as in control as that King of Cups. So for some of my pile number 2s, the message from Aphrodite is, can you allow yourself to feel the emotions? Can you allow them to flow? Can you allow them to run through you without trying to dictate the how, without trying to control the who, what, when, where, and how? The Princess of Cups is almost childlike in her energy when it comes to the emotions. She allows them. She embraces them. She allows them to move through her. Again, the King of Cups, not so much. And Aphrodite is saying, if you can do this, if you can allow yourself to connect to these feelings, these emotions more naturally, without having to control them, without having to even name them, without having to rationalize why they are here, you can clear some things that are still in your energy field. And if you're just sitting here and you're like, you know what, I don't have anything in my energy field from the past. I don't have anything that I'm holding on to. There's nothing that has a hold on me. The Four of Cups is also an energy of apathy. It's also an energy, of frustration, of stagnancy. This is also something that Aphrodite is trying to come in and clear for you. This is not about control at this time. This is about allowing. Allowing things to move through you, allowing things to come through. And as you do that, you're then able to open yourself up to new perspectives, open yourself up to new possibilities. For some of you, meditation. For others of you, just sitting with your emotions and allowing them to come in. Allowing them to move through. And again, you don't always have to name them. You don't even have to identify them to sit with them. You don't have to work on them, is what I'm getting. It's almost like you don't have to clear it necessarily. You can just sit with it and allow it to pass. And it will pass. Let's see what else we have here. So I picked these two cards. They have goddesses on them or female figures. We're using them for the messages more so than the person. I am not going to butcher this name because I do not want to be disrespectful. If anyone knows how to pronounce it, please include it in the comments. I would love to learn, or I can look it up. I don't look at the cards before you do. But we have the Mystic of Peace. I am peace. When my mind is clear, the way is clear. For some of you, you value the mind. You value your connection to the mind, as you should. It's a very beautiful connection that you have. But there's also a sense of your mind is not clear because you're trying to think through the turmoil of emotions. And that's not something that you can always think your way through. So as you're able to move through this, as you're able to, not necessarily try to control the emotions that come up, but allow them to come up, feel them, move through them, you get to the goal of clearing the mind. And as you clear the mind, as you clear the emotional body, the way forward becomes more clear. There's more peace, there's more harmony. There's a flowing. And you pick the rose. Green Tara with the Buddha of enlightened action. My soul informs my every step. I do what my heart compels me to do. Pile number 2 for you. Aphrodite wants to bring in balance. There's going to be a lot more peace for this pile. A sense of balance, harmony within. For some of you, there's almost a sense of anxiety where you're trying to kind of stay ahead of things. You're trying to figure out why every single little thing is coming up. And this, for this pile, it really has to do with purpose. Because the way is clear. That's talking about purpose. That's talking about how you want to move forward. And this says, my soul informs my every step, the next step, right? What I'm going to do. And doing what your heart compels you to do. My pile number 2 is work with your heart chakra. The color green coming in is very important, as well as the color red. Did choose the red rose, right? Heart chakra. For some of you, looking into Eastern philosophy may be helpful. Buddhism coming in very strongly. Obviously, only if you feel called to. Mindfulness. Grounding your energy. Some of you, if you believe in tree hugging, it might be time to go hug a tree. Or ground yourself in some way out in nature if you can. But it's about allowing things to flow through you. Let's do these 3. Enough. You were born enough. Look at this beautiful card. Look at the red, the white, and the blue on her. Pile number 2. You are enough as you are. You were born enough. There's nothing that you need to do to be enough. Can you understand that truth? Responding, not reacting. The only control we have is in how we respond to the hand we are dealt. Some of you are very good at responding without reacting. But you've gotten so good at it that perhaps you've lost connection with the part of you that is able to really truly feel things. For this pile, as this card says, we cannot control, the only control we have is in how we respond. You're very good at responding, but can you also allow the time, space to connect, to feel? And there may be a few of you, and it wouldn't be many at all. It would be a select few. That you're more in this action and you need to learn how to be more responsive versus reactive. But there's also a fear for my pile number 2, as I feel for a lot of you, of how you would react. And that's why you've kind of got yourself so under control that you respond without reaction. And it's about balancing that in, right? Bringing balance to that. And this is card 9, which is about a completion, right? bringing that cycle to a close, where you still will be responding without reacting. You won't be triggered into a response. You won't be triggered into, saying something. But you can take your time to process. And then we have repair. Making amends rather than fun times reveals a relationship's true constitution. For some of you with this repair card, there could be a relationship that you need to talk out. I'm going to be honest. I feel like this could be a relationship with a parent or a grandparent, because these two people are standing out to me. So it could be a parent or a grandparent. It could be someone else, a friendship, a romantic partner. But I also feel like this is about you repairing the relationship to yourself and the relationship to your feelings. And, making amends when it comes to how you allow yourself to process, how you allow yourself to act, react, respond. Remember, you are enough. You were born enough. The red and blue standing out to me there, again, that heart chakra coming in strongly. Let's see what else we have. Letting go. Allow the wisdom to remain, but the sting I shall never feel again. There's something with this Four of Cups here that some of you are trying to let go. Some of you may not even realize this is still somewhat in your energy field. This is still somewhat affecting you. There's something that needs to be released. There's something that needs to be let go. There's something that needs to be somewhat repaired. And remember, repairing could be about repairing something within yourself, with yourself, not necessarily another. You've learned the lessons. You can allow yourself to release. Some of you could be seeing sixes, because I am seeing some sixes here. It could be fours as well, but 6 standing out to me. Good cheer, with kind heart and humor free. May good cheer rule, so mote it be. Yeah. There's abundance coming in. And when I say abundance, I'm not necessarily talking about finances. It could be finances, but I feel like this is Aphrodite saying there's more lightheartedness coming in. There's more happiness, more joy. For some of you, there's connection coming in, your ability to connect with others. But some of you are going to have to let that guard down. When it comes to a love reading, sometimes the King of Cups, especially if it's an existing relationship, it could speak of someone who has so many feelings, but they refuse to show those feelings. And that's the vibe that I'm getting for my pile number 2s. And it's not a game to you. It's almost a sense of preserving the self. Let's take a look at the blessings being sent your way by Aphrodite. Morrigan's blessing of peace after battle. And you have been in a battle. A battle with the self, with the mind. Because I do feel like your heart, your intuition is almost at war at times with your mind. Because your mind wants to rationalize the heart. And the heart, the feelings, the emotions, they're not always explainable. They're not going to make sense. They're not always going to give you the information that you need. Sometimes it's about feeling them, allowing them to happen. Some of you have a close connection to the raven. Could be the crow, definitely the raven. Some of you have a strong connection to the Morrigan. Let me know if you would like to see messages from the Morrigan in this series. A blessing on a resolution. There's all this talk in this reading about purpose. about clearing the way, right? About getting to the next step. About being able to make more informed decisions. And then now we have a blessing on a resolution. What stands out to me is that she's wearing the armor, right? We see that armor on her arm. We also see that she's holding that knife. But her heart is actually open. There's no armor on her body. There's no armor on her stomach, right? Her neck, chest, and stomach are all open. And those are very vulnerable spots, especially for a warrior, especially for someone who has any type of armor. This to me speaks to vulnerability. Slowly moving away that armor. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to be discerning, because you are absolutely going to be discerning. But it means that you don't have to be as overprotective, that you don't have to be as overly cautious. A lot more vulnerability for my pile number 2s. And it's vulnerability with self, right? Not feeling like you have to wear this armor even with yourself. There's no one else in this card. It's just her. Let's take a look at the final card, and I will be reading from the book for this one because I'm not very familiar with the deck. But we have Ivory Wish Fulfilling Crow. Very interesting, because I saw that raven there with the Morrigan, and I said it could be the crow as well. Obviously, they're very much, they're pretty related. But now we have the crow and the raven showing up. For some of you, connecting to magic, ritual. You know, what you believe in. Some of you, it could be the Morrigan that is calling to you to work with you. So, Ivory Wish Fulfilling Crow. You can have what you truly want. Such knowledge helps soften and release fear, grasping, control, and doubt. Yeah, for some of my pile number 2s, there's definitely something with control here. Have confidence that the universe hears your prayers and is even now leading you into that which you seek. You can take sanctuary within your spiritual connection wherever you need stabilization and protection against the fluctuations of the external world. No matter what is happening around you, there is a way through to the fulfillment of your potential. Very beautiful. So, and actually this card is speaking of Buddhism as well, so very interesting. I thought I would mention that. Pile number 2. For some of you, what you're releasing is fear, and what Aphrodite wants to do is allow you to connect to your emotions and feelings, because that's part of your intuition. And as you connect to your intuition, you're able to take the next steps on your path and connect to your purpose in a more flowing way. It's going to flow easier. You're not going to doubt yourself as much. You're not going to overthink it as much. Because remember, water is emotions, but emotions is also tied to our intuition, to our instincts. That is what Aphrodite wants you to connect with, so that you're not fighting against yourself. All right, pile number 2, that is all I have for you. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let me know what you'd like to see next, especially in the Messages from series with the deities. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, that information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the beautiful swan here with the yellow and green little stones. It's really cute, and it's really shimmery, I guess I should say. So as a reminder, it's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. And we are looking at self-love messages from Aphrodite, anything and everything that wants to come through. So let's see what we have here for you. 10 of Cups. All right, I'm liking it. Ace of Swords. King of Staves, which is King of Wands. All right. Pile number 3. Let's jump right in. Ace of Swords is in the middle. For me, the Ace of Swords is clarity. It's almost a sense of purpose when we get clarity as far as where we are headed, what we're going to be doing, how we are moving forward. There's a sense of purpose with that comes with it, if you ask me. With that Ace of Swords, we have that 10 of Cups on the left and that King of Staves or King of Wands on the right. The 10 of Cups is all about happiness. It's about, connection, community, emotional fulfillment. It's that perfect, that perfect emotional state, that perfect family, perfect community, perfect group of people that you connect with. And the King of Wands, he's very bold, he's very charismatic, he's very much connected to spirit, because with the wands we have fire, and fire is all about the spark, right? That initial spark, spirit, fire energy. So think Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So the message here is, I'm actually getting 2 messages. For some of you, this is going to be a love message, as in relationship. For others of you, it's not. It's going to be a little bit more about what you want. So let's start with the general message. We'll get into love in a little bit. This Ace of Swords is about you trying to find clarity, trying to understand what your emotional fulfillment is, what your 10 of Cups is, because 10 of Cups can be different things for different people. For some people, the 10 of Cups is going to be that family life with the children, the pets, all the good things, right? For others, it's something completely different. It could be a career. It could be a connection with people. It could be community. It could be harmony. It could be, just living a life where your heart is open and you're constantly growing and expanding. It could be about being connected to oneness. But this is almost an invitation here to get clear about what this 10 of Cups represents for you. And once you are clear, to go after it. For some of my pile number 3s, there's a dream, there's a wish, there's something that you want. There's something that you've been thinking about. There's something that, it may be something that is even coming up ever since childhood. It's that thing that every so often you think about, but you don't quite try. And sometimes our life purpose can be like that, right? Sometimes our life purpose, or the thing that we want to do, we want to dedicate ourselves to. Our soul's desire, I should say. We often think about it for a while, but we don't always go after it. Because there can be fears, because sometimes, we think it's just a dream, or because sometimes we would rather keep it in the dream realm than make it a reality. Because when we try to make it a reality, there's that sense of, what if it doesn't work? So again, it's almost that sense of, I'll just keep it in this dream state. I'll keep it in this state of, this is what I want. And I'll think about it fondly, rather than realizing that I went for it and it couldn't happen, or I went for it and it wasn't what I wanted. So for my pile number 3s, this is about you going after what you want. You allowing your heart to fuel the empire that you want to build in this lifetime. To fuel the life that you want to create. Pile number 3, you are a natural born leader. You can lead by example. For many of you, you are meant for a bigger role in this lifetime. And the self-love message that's coming in from Aphrodite is, can you love yourself enough to go after what lights you up, after what your dream is, what you want to create, what would bring satisfaction, joy, fulfillment to your life? And if you can do so, it's going to lead to even more self-love, more happiness, more joy, more satisfaction. This is about empowering yourself and grounding your vision. It's very interesting because the sword is kind of coming in, right? It's kind of grounded. It's about you grounding your vision, grounding that thing that would bring you happiness. And for some of you, it's about opening a business, being an entrepreneur, doing something in the way of income. Now, for others of you, there is a love message coming in. So I'm going to share both of them. You get to decide which one, or maybe both are for you. Who knows? Some of you, you've been overthinking love. You've been trying to approach it with the mind. So for some of you, it could be that you're trying to find a relationship. You're trying to find your soulmate, your twin flame, your divine counterpart, your soulmate, right? That other half, that person that you're going to be with, that person that you're going to love and grow old with. But you're going about it in trying to perhaps think about it, right? If I have this, I'll be happy. Or perhaps, I need to figure out where I need to be in order for this to happen. There's some mental energy to this. And what Aphrodite is saying is, for some of you, there is a king of staves, king of wands, regardless of gender. Someone who is bold and charismatic, and someone who is a leader, and someone who knows what they want and they're willing to go after it. And this is also that same energy that you need to tap into to make this happen. Because for some of you, it's not so much about thinking about how this needs to happen or needs to unfold, but about taking action on it. And that's coming in very loudly. So take it as it resonates. It's almost that sense of two messages. For some of you, it may be both. For others of you, it's going to be one or the other. But if you resonate with the message of trying to find love and kind of trying to rationalize, think about it, try to make it happen, or figure out what the perfect timing is or how it's going to unfold, there's almost a need to relax into it. And there's a need to decide that you want it and allow it to happen and go after it. And by going after it, if you want a relationship, are you even open to dating, or are you kind of waiting for it to fall on your lap? And I say that respectfully. Let's see what else we have here. And we have these 3 cards. They do have goddesses on them, but we're using them for messages mainly. I believe it's Yishi Soigol. I probably butchered that. But Lady of the Lotus Born. Embodiment is the deepest bliss. My body was made for enlightenment. For some of you, there's definitely an element of creating something, of moving into your purpose, moving into higher purpose. Saint Bridget, Our Lady of Exalted Light, I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. Yeah, for some of you, this is about trusting what you want, what would bring you satisfaction, and going after it. You have what it takes. Especially with this King of Staves here. You have what it takes to create this 10 of Cups. Whether that 10 of Cups is a relationship or not, whether it's like a business idea, whether it's a project, whether it's a way of living, you have the ability to create it. You have the ability to make it happen. You just need to embody the light. Embody the truth. And for this pile, there is a lot of energy available to you as long as you are pouring yourself into the right thing. If you are familiar with human design, you could be generating manifestors or generators. As long as you're going after the right thing, you're going to be able to make it work. Some of you have fire energy, so again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Mary of Nazareth, the Mother of God, I am blessed. My courage gives birth to the divine. Yeah, it's time to step into your courage. Go after what you want. Unapologetically go after what you want. You deserve it. You want it for a reason. Again, for some of you, what you want may be a relationship. For others of you, it's a project, it's an idea, it's a business, it's a way of being. But it's something here that you keep going back to. And for a few of you, accepting that you want this is also important. Like for a few of you, it may be a relationship, and there's a part of you that's like, well, why do I want that? It doesn't make sense. You want it because you do, and it's okay to want it. It doesn't have to make sense. And I do feel that for many of my pile number threes, whatever this is about connection. Whether it's about you connecting to your creativity and creating something, or you connecting to other people. Or a little bit of both, right? Where you are connecting to your creativity, you're birthing something, and that something helps others as well. And there's a lot of grace. I mean, you chose the Swan. Spirit self, be who you are as you are. Yeah. What did I say? Accept yourself. Someone here may have like greenish, bluish hair. If you do, it's beautiful. Someone may want some colored hair and you're a little nervous. If that's the case, go for it. Obviously, as long as there's no other objections, such as a job. But the spirit self is all about fire energy as well, right? Inspiration, who we are, our core, our spirit, our higher self. Have the courage to be who you are. And to be who you are, it means going after all of what you want. And what you want to create, pile number three, it wants you back. And this is why Aphrodite is bringing this message to you. Intention, lacking personal direction, begets confusion and life as a pawn to someone else's game of chess. So yeah, this is about you stepping into control. We have the King of Staves. That's not someone who's allowing anyone else to call the shots. King of Staves is like, listen, this is who I am. I am a leader. I'm going to make this happen. No one is going to tell me how to do things or how to show up, so I'm going to show up. And this is the energy that you're working with at this time, pile number three. Love yourself enough to go and chase your dreams, your visions, your intentions. Also, pile number three, love yourself enough to set some intentions. If you have not set any intentions for yourself, love yourself enough to set some intentions, and that is an act of self-love for this pile. Don't allow other people to dictate how you are going to move around. For some of you, working with the owl as a spirit animal is coming in strongly. Let's see what else we have. Beauty. I have a form which is divine. I allow what is within to shine. I butchered that. Let's do that one more time. I have a form which is divine. I allow what is within to shine. Yeah, can you allow your spirit self, right? What is within? It's the spirit. When we talk about what is within, it's the spirit, right? Can you allow your spirit self? And it's almost like she's holding here. It looks like an apple, but it looks like it has a flame to it as well. Is it a flame? Kind of looks like it to me. Can you allow what's within to shine? And what's within is the spirit self. For some of you, this is about setting foundations, stepping into your leadership, right? The King of Staves, and we have that number 1 there. That 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. And look at this, another 4, 3 plus 1, 4. 4, 1, 1, you could be seeing 1, 1, 1, 11, 11, 4, 4, 4. Ace, another 1. Wait a minute. All of these cards either equal to 1 or 4. The ones that are numbered. This is about you stepping into your leadership and setting some foundations for your future, for who you want to be and what you want to create. Study. Let my mind be clear and strong. Let me study well and long. Yeah, you're in a place of learning. Learning about the self, pile number 3. Learning about what it is that you want and going after what you want and allowing yourself to learn about what you want. And for some of you, your study, that point of learning and kind of not taking action is coming to an end because 3 plus 6 is 9. 9 in numerology is about the completion, the ending, closing of a cycle. So you're stepping into that one energy where you're taking action, you're making moves. And it's because of self-love. See the blessings coming your way. A blessing on a new venture. Artemis energy very strong for this pile. I was going to mention it earlier, but I didn't want to because we are doing an Aphrodite reading. But Artemis energy is very strong in this pile. When I was talking about the Ace of Swords, I kind of saw the Artemis energy, which to me is the bow and arrow. I kind of saw that sword almost being retracted and kind of shot like a bow, like a arrow. And I almost mentioned it, but again, I kind of said don't do that because it's an Aphrodite reading, but I have to now because this card really reminds me of Artemis. But besides that, Aphrodite is giving you a new venture. There's a new beginning here. Again, all these ones. And for many of you, this is not going to be about love. This is going to be about some sort of project, some sort of dream, some sort of wish that you have. See what the other blessing is? A blessing on a friendship. And as I say that, Spirit is like, no. For some people, it is a friendship. But there's definitely change here coming. The unicorn is a very healing animal. It said that the horn of the unicorn was very healing. And there's almost a healing of your connections, of how you approach connections. For some of you, through the new venture, you're going to meet new people. Whether it's friendships, it could be a romantic partner for some, for a few of you. Let's take a look at this card. I am going to read from the book for this one because I'm not super familiar with this deck yet. But you got Alabaster Tablet of Layla. Let's see what that says because I really have no idea. But pile number 3, as I open up to this card, again, that energy of there's a new beginning of something. Self-love for you right now is about you approaching what you want, what you desire, and going after it. So it says, you are remembering at a soul level. You are tapping into greater awareness and an understanding of your higher life purpose. Yeah, there's definitely purpose for this pile. Hold on. It says, and an understanding of your highest life purpose shall become even clearer to you. So yeah, this is saying you're tapping into greatest awareness and your life purpose is becoming even more clear. This may evoke unsettling change within you, but that change is necessary for a new way to manifest. You are protected and guided at all times, especially when you feel uncertain about your course. You are truly love. Yeah. So it says Layla is a guardian angel watching over all transitions, including the transition of the soul into the embryo during conception and the guiding of the soul out of the body and into the realms of light when a physical life draws to a close. Yeah, this is about transformation. And I did say the ending of a cycle with a 9 and a lot of 1, so a lot of beginnings. A lot of beginnings for this pile. But again, self-love for you right now is about chasing those beginnings. And you know, a message about not needing to know everything. Trusting that there is a new venture, it's meant for you, it's coming your way. And allowing what you want to provide the clarity. And accepting that what you want is valid as well. I don't know why I keep getting that. There may be kind of a almost not accepting what you want as valid or as something that you really want. I don't know why. It's almost that energy. All right, pile number 3. That is all I have for you. And remember, the Swan is all about grace. Give yourself some grace. But that is all I have for you at this time. Let me know what else you'd like to see in the messages from any deities that you'd like to see next. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, that information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now.